Let's try.
Hello, this is your host Alarmze. Welcome back to the podcast. I'd like to, share some updates that happened over the past few days. I've been, as I said last time, I said I was gonna try to be more consistent on, going to the gym, and so far I've been pretty successful in that, and I've repeated the same routine for the second week. So far, everything's going well. I've done the deadlift. I've upped the weight from last week. Deadlift was today. I'm probably going to be very sore tomorrow. And I just wanted to, also share some sort of, healthy recipe I made when I was after the gym. I just came back. I made this omelet with eggs, mushrooms, spinach, tomatoes, and feta cheese. It's like a kind of Mediterranean Greek omelet. I really liked it. So, yeah, if you ever want to make it, just those are the ingredients, and ask me in the comments more about that. How are you doing, Daniel?
I'm alright. Allergies have been killing me lately, so I apologize if my voice sounds super nasally. Yeah, but I was sneezing all morning. It got super bad to the point where I had a nosebleed. It sucks, but yeah, I'm doing alright for the most part. We got two new guests here.
Yeah, two new guests.
Introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm Caleb. What's up with y'all? I do a lot of stuff. I do YouTube. I sometimes do music with him, although I'm kind of retired, but I'll come out of retirement sometimes and make music with my friends. So, yeah, that's all about me.
My name is Jonathan Matthew. I'm a former TikToker, and my plans for working out this year is trying to lose some weight, and that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. What about you, Caleb? Did you have any plans for working out?
So mainly my workout is I do boxing, so I got like a heavy bag and I hit that.
Oh yeah.
So like that's mainly what I do, just because it's fun and it's not really like a workout to me. It's more just like, I don't know, like an activity, I guess, that just entertains me, keeps me calm.
Yeah, it's still a workout. I mean, you get a lot out of that.
Yeah, but it's like a workout that doesn't feel like a workout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
I guess some of my goals would be like, adding calisthenics in, because I used to have this app where I would like go from calisthenic to calisthenic, like push ups, sit ups, whatever, like butterfly legs, I don't know, a bunch of stretches and stuff. So I'm probably gonna do some of that and then box at the same time, and I'll probably like bring me down in weight and stuff like that.
You like to do pull-ups?
No, I definitely can't do that. I'm too fat for that.
I include pull-ups in my workout routine.
Yeah.
I really at first they might seem easy, but when you do pull-ups after a different workout, then it seems hard, because like you're tired from the other thing and you're just hanging there and just barely. It's a very it's mind-blowing how hard your first rep of pull-ups or second rep is compared to your first rep. Like let's say you do 8 pull-ups in your first round, and then second round you're like on the 6th one you're already struggling. So that's how hard it is compared to the first one for me, because especially after a long workout. But if I start out with pull-ups, I have no problem. But usually if I end with pull-ups, ending with pull-ups is a challenge for me, because my whole body's already sore from the other workouts. So
you think that's like, because I noticed you swim, you think it's like easier for you to do pull-ups because of that?
I mean, the tall body definitely helps to do pull-ups.
Yeah.
Being tall helps, and also
I think it's the opposite. Like, for me, I can do a lot of pull-ups,
Yeah.
but I think
actually,
because it's easier for you have a shorter distance.
oh yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same thing for deadlifts, bench press. You have a shorter legs for deadlift.
But I was thinking about the back strength though. I don't know how that
makes
comes into
sense.
play.
For most of the time for pull-ups, like if you do a disc grip, you're basically using your bicep.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I think for me, like what helped, like when I was like lighter, when I started working out, I started doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
In the beginning, so it wasn't as difficult as like people that like started working out later, like when they're in high school or like mid of the way in high school. Well, pull-ups, like it's hit or miss. Like for me, like if I do a heavy workout, then I won't be able to do as much reps as like.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you're right about the shorter arms. It helps. Yeah, I was kind of I was thinking, I think being tall helps with swimming, but pull-ups. You asked me how it helps with how swimming helps with pull-ups.
Yeah.
I think the reason why is because swimming uses a lot of lats, the lat muscle when you pull the water.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm good at pull-ups is because of the
same motion.
The propulsion. Yeah, same motion.
Yeah.
Propelling yourself through the water.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
thinking. Yeah.
Oh,
propelling yourself, kind of like
if you use
lats
this grip,
using lats rotating.
I understand from what you guys were saying. Like if you use this grip, I feel like you're using more of your back instead of this.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I don't like using this grip. I use this grip a lot because I do separate workouts for biceps, but for some reason it just doesn't sit well with me to do pull-ups like this.
The main thing is how wide your grip is. How wide your grip is will mostly affect what muscle group you're working on. If you're working wide grip like this, you're not going to be working as much biceps. And if you're working closed grip, no matter what, this way or that way, you're going to be working mostly biceps.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, the only stuff I know about really working out is either from my dad teaching me, especially weightlifting. I never really did weightlifting like that. I did weightlifting in like middle school for football, but that's like the last time I really like lifted weights because, I mean, it was fun at the time, but it gets kind of boring to me, so I really don't know much except for what my dad told me, like, some YouTube videos,
Yeah.
Where y'all learn about like weightlifting?
Like for me, like if I don't set goals, I don't feel motivated. Like
Me too.
for high school, I feel like there's other people to compete with. That's when your workouts are planned from your coaches. But after high school, you had to make your own workout.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I feel like I'm lacking the motivation and like.
Definitely. Yeah.
But like, it depends like who you work out with. Like if you work out with someone that constantly work out, then you feel that.
Yeah, because that energy kind of go to you.
Yeah, like working out with a person definitely helps you. Like by yourself, sometimes it's hard to get motivated. It all depends on the day, but there's days when like it's better to work out with someone because by yourself is just not enough motivation.
I got a question then. So, like, what kind of motivates y'all to keep working out, right? Because for me, it's like when at least when I was weightlifting, I think it's kind of in general, like when it comes to working out, especially if I don't want to do it, I think the results, like when I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I do look better. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like the feel for me. Like, how about
definitely.
y'all? Yeah.
Like
Same here.
It's not like you can see like for right now, I'm not like as happy as my physique compared to what I was in high school. So I think it's mostly how your end result is going to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's what your motivation is. And then I think some people in middle school, they had the wrong idea of their for motivation for working out. It's trying to get girls, but it's not going to work out.
well, that's kind of what I mean. It's
My bad.
you go. Sorry, what you want to say?
I was just saying, you grow up and it turns the opposite. You do it because a girl broke up with you, something like that. You get your heart broken, you start working out like crazy.
I mean,
I think it depends how you like. I think working out makes you like, more mature in that aspect. Like I think before you like have a weird way of viewing the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does like for me also, I think boxing, I'll say specifically, is like it's kind of like a meditation for me. Like for some reason, I feel sharper, I feel smarter, I feel happier when I'm working out more consistently. Do you think working out kind of changes your mind, or have you like noticed anything like that?
Yeah, working out does change your mindset a lot. Changes how you view things. I think especially because when you work out, I know one of the aspects for sure is you have to push yourself beyond what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And doing that and working out, consistently practicing that will help you apply it to like other real world scenarios where let's say you're trying to get your career started, you're gonna be more how should I say this? You're gonna be more comfortable getting uncomfortable in something.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's an advantage.
and working out, you don't like think about the outside world or stress. Like you just focus on yourself, and then nothing else is important in that room. And then,
I feel that. Yeah.
But
yeah, I feel like working out definitely helps me mentally. It helps me focus on, like, get rid of all the, anxiety and worries inside your head. It also helps me be more productive throughout the day. It helps your mind have a more like mentality that no wasted time. Like for example, if your whole day becomes bad, like if something bad happens throughout the day, like but you worked out, you still know that you've completed at least one thing that's good, even if everything else is bad. Like you know that at least one thing is good that you worked out, and you can be proud of at least one thing. So, yeah.
I got a question. Is working out kind of like a spiritual release for you as well? Because you mentioned stress. You can relieve stress through working out because your muscles build up stress and everything, and then you think it's a sort of spiritual release to lift weights, do whatever, box.
I don't know what you mean by like.
It's like if your body lose like this pent up stress, pent up anger, things like that.
I don't think like that.
Yeah, the spirituality of it makes it interesting. I mean, it does depend, like he said, if you are spiritual. But I did compare it to meditation in the way that it, to me, personally, like I have a lot of violence within me, so. In that way, it's kind of a release for that energy, whether you want to call it spiritual energy or just mental stuff. I don't know. It's up to you to like define science versus spirituality. But yeah, I think working out is definitely like a way to release some of that energy, whether it's spiritual, biological, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with that.
I agree.
It's like a yin yang thing. Helps balance out the good and bad energy in your body.
Do you think like some workouts do it better than others? Like I don't think I would get the same feeling from something else other than boxing. Do you think like when you do a specific workout, it's more, it makes you feel better, or it makes you get rid of the anger or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I feel like it's different for like all people, because for some people yoga might be there to go to exercise, but that's not my thing. I don't want to do yoga at all. I want to do more active things that are more intense, like more like intense weightlifting and like intense like running or something, swimming. I don't know.
I want to do goat yoga, bro.
Like for some people, that like different methods work differently on all of us. So like if I wouldn't find my great spiritual release from yoga or from like some sort of like class that's not like that doesn't put emphasis on weight. Like I like putting emphasis on weights, and on lots of like reps and things like that, and putting emphasis on like also endurance as well, because that's where running and swimming comes in. That's endurance.
Yeah. I mean, you said, have you done yoga before?
No. I've seen people do yoga, and I've heard about yoga, and that just doesn't appeal to me,
I wanna do goat yoga, the one where like they got the goats and they like climb on your back when you're doing like downward doggy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That sounds kind of.
I mean, the stretches. Not gonna lie, the stretches are pretty good. They're like yoga stretches. They're actually. I feel like they might help me as well. Like at least prepare for my workout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I never did stretches like for some. I just don't like it.
What's called from the podcast I was hearing from Bradley Martin, he said you need to make sure you do stretches.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Before, like he said he regretted not doing stretches when he was 30. Like before he was 30, he said it to this old guy. The old guys were telling him to make sure you do stretches. He said, "Fuck you." Oh my bad. But to like the older guys, but now he understands why the importance of stretching.
There's a difference between before stretching for workout and after stretching for workout. Before, you want to do this thing called dynamic stretching, where you warm up your muscles more than you just stretch it out from the tension.
Yeah, kind of like arm circles, arm circles and things like that.
And then afterwards, you don't warm up again. So it's like a kind of like a cool down where you stretch out your muscles, get them more relaxed so that they can recover more easily.
Yeah. You never want to start with static stretches, because that's really bad. It's like something might get cramped or something.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah.
You gotta start with dynamic for sure.
For you guys, like for weightlifting, like, do you guys think about the weight, or like you just do it? Like for me, I just don't try to mentally think about it.
I try not to think about it
Yeah,
either. I think it
I-
makes it harder when you do.
Yeah, because if you think about the weight too much, you get
Yeah.
added, like you get stressed out of nowhere. Like in that sense, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for my highest lifts, I don't think about the weight. Like I say, I would need to push it up
Yeah.
and let it put it back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what.
It's like an autopilot. I mean, do y'all kind of have that thing like autopilot where you kind of just turn off your consciousness kind of as much as you can, and then you just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah.
Because I remember last year, like me and Daniel, we're trying to like, help you with your squat.
Uh-huh.
And then do you remember how you're like? I feel like me and Daniel thought you were thinking about the weight too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
You had a mental block.
I still have a mental block. That's on squat. Like I'm afraid to try squats like on the squat rack, you know, because I don't really like squat racks. That's my least favorite exercise ever.
Yeah.
That's if I can literally if I can choose to eliminate one exercise from my whole from like all exercises that exist, I would choose the squat rack.
Not the Bulgarian squats.
No, I do the
I
Bulgarian
can't
squats
do
every week.
those.
I do those every week. So
I hate Bulgarian
I mean,
squats.
they're hard, but like I feel like they're not as hard on your back because the squat thing it hurts my back. So like I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I remember
You need to
telling you
make
that
sure
you,
you
you
place
always
it
want
right.
you always want to use padding
Yeah.
because it hurts your.
Oh yeah.
I remember like thinking in my back, I said, "Wow, only weak people." Like I don't want to say the word, the p word. Like only the
Yeah.
p word people would put it in those padding.
Yeah.
Like those.
Nah, bro, because I remember when I used to lift weights, like if you, it's like I remember with my hands, like if when you do the weightlifting right, and like you develop them calluses, like that stuff hurt.
Oh,
bro,
yeah,
because-
I hate
like
them.
because we was in the middle school gym, and they had them rusty weights, bro. Like it looked, like
Yeah.
like it looked like they, bro. Like,
They don't
them
like
weights
those.
was, they were black. They were like black. They were the same color as me. You feel me?
It's
So
all the skin cells that I'm getting.
exactly, it's just shredding your stuff.
If you
So-
cut yourself, oof, that's some nasty business.
No,
right there.
no.
I mean, that's why people, wear gloves and stuff like that. I mean, I think I don't see the point in like. I guess for some people, like the extra pain of having to squat right on their back and make them feel stronger, and that's
Yeah.
cool if that's your prerogative. But that just depended on the person.
And going back to like the mental block and not thinking about the weight, like you said, we like whenever Daniel and I swam, there's this thing called intervals. Like if you're a swimmer or a runner, you probably know about this. Interval basically means whenever you complete like 100 yards on like a certain amount of time before you have to go again. So let's say you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to do every 100, and there's 8 of them, right? But the hardest ones for us were like 1 minute and 5 seconds, and that was like we had to do 10, and each one has to be under 1 minute and 5 seconds in order to get at least some rest between them. So for us, like a mental block that occurred is when we thought about the interval, but whenever we didn't think about it, then that's when you actually go fast, because the less you think about how little time you have, the faster you go, because you just gotta not think about time, like just go for it, like kind of like Jonathan said, go for it.
Yeah, I had a bad habit trying to look at the clock the whole time. I go into this thing called a flip turn. I would just like look up really quickly, see if I can see the clock, see if I'm on time. Slowed me down a lot. But yeah, you don't want to pay attention so much on what weight you're trying to achieve. You just want to make sure that you can make progress towards that goal and just be able to just do it. It's like Shia, just do it.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I think another thing that helps people, you know how people take smelling salts and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
It's like kind of activates their
Fight or
primitive.
flight, adrenaline type
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And I know a lot of the strongmen, they do that. They put themselves in a life or death thought process,
Yep.
and that's how they're able to live so much.
I remember like how Eddie Hall
Yep,
was thinking
exactly.
about how his family was
About to get murdered,
Yeah.
and then he would like think of that, and like you would go into that rage mode. Yeah.
And I think like after that topic, you know how like the guy that one upped him by 1 pound.
Thor, yeah.
He got so mad because he said he put so much effort in trying to get that weight that
Mhm.
this other guy did it. So he's having that. He's always having in the back of the head.
Well, I think, because I follow that stuff, so I know a little bit more about it, and then we can go into something else because it's kind of a tangent. But the thing behind that, Eddie Hall and Thor, is that they got like a long history because in the former competition, the World's Strongest Man, which is like a bunch of giant strong men come together and they lift a bunch of heavy shit and they compete. They in 2017, Eddie Hall and Thor, they had this dispute over like Thor saying Eddie was cheating because he won and blah blah blah, and yeah, like after he won and he was like complaining and Eddie Hall lost respect for him. So then that translates into the future where like Thor broke Eddie's record, but he did it like in like you said, like in his home gym. So it like it was like a dispute over it should be in competition. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically how that is.
Yeah. Now you got the boxing thing coming up.
Yep, and they
Bro, I'm low key scared for them because that's kind of like a death sentence for both of them. Have you seen how hard they punch? It's like first punch landed, they're knock each other out.
Like in boxing, it's really hard to give 100% in one punch.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like iffy on who's gonna knock out who. But from my understanding, Eddie Hall is gonna be heavier than Thor. That's kind of weird saying because like Thor is 6'8" and then Eddie Hall is like 6'3". So
Thor is definitely at least 6'9".
Oh.
Because he was next to Tyson Fury.
Oh my god.
And like for like that boxing match, at least Thor has 3 fights before, and then Eddie's just jumping into deep end. Like, but he said he's sparred with pro people. Yeah. But you don't know who the pro people were. But I think it's under the lights. I think it's gonna be different. But
definitely. Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of let's move on to fishing, right? Like fishing season is opening up. It's springtime. Everything's blooming. You can see a little bit of green showing up on the trees already. And so, and the bass are gonna start hatching. They're gonna start spawning, and I know Jonathan's a really big fisherman. And what do you think about the fishing season? How do you think it's already like good enough to start going out there? And like, what are your ambitions and thoughts on that?
Like, I went to Florida last week, and I was mostly fishing there. So there's spawn. It was they're at least a month ahead, I think, a month or 2 weeks ahead. So the fishing there, like for bass fishing, they're more eager than the Texas bass at the moment. I know in the next couple days or the next week, Texas fishing is going to be better. Because like there's a YouTuber called John B. He was catching 10-pound bass, but the average bass you catch was like 3 pounds. But 10 pounds is rare. And he caught already 5 before pre-spawn already started. Yeah. But he went a little bit down south where we are, in like lower in Texas, so it's probably a little bit warmer. So their pre-spawn is probably a little bit ahead. But it's an achievement of itself, catching.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And my goal is at least try to break my PB this year, like at least bigger than 5 pounds.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I could see the forecast ahead. This whole 10 days is gonna be 70s, really nice. Fish are gonna be more and more active because we've had lots of cold weeks in North Texas here, and I think that'd be a good time for you to start going out and going for your goals.
I think another goal. Another goal is like, I wish all of us can go plus Connor. Yeah. So I think if Mr. Paul and Connor brings his John boat, I think we can divide up the group. Yeah. So like at least 2 people on the John boat and a couple people on the bass.
But the problem is lots of food, like.
Oh no! This is
just a one.
Sleeping.
We're trying to do like a one-day trip in that one place.
They can camp.
Oh, a camp. Yeah,
they can set up a camping ground.
I was thinking about leaving early in the morning, then come back in the nighttime. Yeah. It's we're not trying to go. I'm not trying the one I was thinking. The pond the lake I was thinking.
Oh, that one.
The one that John B caught his the 3 10-pound bass. So I was planning to go early in the morning and start then come back. But what I noticed what he caught them on was the Alabama rig. So it's 3 at least 4 minnows with the spinners. So it makes it look like a group of bait fish. Yeah. So because the bigger bass are lazier in that sense. So they only go for they take less chance. So they take a big scoop, and so they're like the freshwater versions of sharks in that.
Yeah. Like I've seen Alabama rigs being used. It's pretty wacky. It's pretty,
Mr. Paul has one. I think it has 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things on the rig.
like what's the most like elaborate thing y'all done to like catch fish? I'm kind of interested in that.
Elaborate thing to catch fish?
Yeah, cause like
I think I caught a fish off a hot dog before. Like a bass. It was like a pretty big one.
Like we've actually gone down to like Danny and I with deep lake fished. We pretty much let the line go and sink down about 30-25 feet down to the bottom of the lake and kind of like tapped it. That's a efficient way of catching like yellow bass, white bass. They tend to go in the like deeper areas of the lake. And I think that's something that you can only do with a boat because you can't really do that. That's very elaborate because also you can see the sonar on the boat. You can see like the skin.
There's something called a live scope that sees everything in the water. It
Yeah.
sees the lure, and right when the fish hits, you can see the fish going after the lure.
Yeah.
Wait.
So, like-
Explain how that works. Like, so is it a sonar on the boat or is it?
Yeah, it's
on the
literally
boat?
on the boat, and you have like a little two screens, one by the
Those are-
driver's seat and then one up the front,
Yeah.
where there's like a little motor, so you can see where the fish are. Just drop down your bait and start fishing.
My aquatics
Wow,
teacher
that's crazy.
said he spent over $20,000 on one.
Well, those are the really nice ones.
Bro, so y'all
Those
like
are-
working with submarines and stuff.
Yeah, we can.
Because one YouTuber who swim underneath the boat, so you see someone swimming on the lines.
Yeah, and it's freaky. You see it as, you think it's a huge fish.
Yeah, but there's some controversy. Like people say, is it cheating by not figuring out where the bass is instead of like someone guessing where they are? I think pond fishermen are like saying, oh, they don't know where the fish is, but they guess where they are.
Yeah.
But lake fishing overall, it's harder, I think, because but without using the scope, I think it's a waste of time if you're not using all your resources to figure out where they are. But for that, it's I think there's some pros and cons on there.
For the bigger bass, I don't think sonar is necessary because you just look at the nest. You look at the.
But that's doing.
I mean,
There are smaller bass at the nest. Bigger bass, you just have to get lucky to come by. That's
Like,
literally it. It's all about luck. for
yeah,
bigger
there's no
bass.
sonar for bigger bass. It's not really like because
You'll be able to see.
that's too
them.
shallow. I mean, I guess you can. It can help.
Yeah.
It can help, but like it's not. It doesn't help you as much as it helps with the deep lake fishing, right?
Yeah.
Like
or-
shallow fishing is harder with sonar because you also have to look by yourself because it's super. You have to find the nest and you can't just cast in a random area.
Yeah.
You have to go by the grass somewhere,
use polarized glasses.
Yeah, polarize and also look near the grass.
Fishing is overall a really expensive hobby.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You gotta get
Yeah,
a
expensive.
decent amount of money to get a good fishing setup. Boats are way
Boats.
more expensive than I thought. They're like 80,000
Yeah, those nice.
For what? For what type of
for a
boat?
bass boat. It's
But like describe like what that is though.
it's
for
like
people that don't know.
it's a boat.
Which
and
I'm one
then
of them.
it's most of it is like flat, so you can stand anywhere, and then
Okay.
it'll have a seat. Sometimes it'll have a seat out front where you can just sit down and fish. Plus, you have compartments where you can keep fish. It fills up with water by itself.
How big
There's
is
a bunch
it?
of storage
It's
compartments.
bigger than 17 feet. Like.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was looking into a boat, called a John boat. Those tend to be the cheapest ones, but I was looking for the bigger one. I can get a hybrid, like basically like in size. Like it was like a nice one is $18,000. I was like, bro, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I said, is it even worth spending $18,000 for a fishing boat that you probably go fishing probably only during the summer?
I seen like boats and like what is it like Academy and like the back section they got like
Those are the ones that I was talking about. The John boat.
those are 80,000. Like
no, not
Those are like
80,000.
3,000, right?
Oh, okay.
Those are like what's called Connor bought one of those.
Yeah.
Without the motor, it's $500.
Yeah.
Because like fishing overall is so widespread. There's the cheaper stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The motor it's expensive. That's the where.
So would y'all have like a like paddle if
the,
y'all?
the
I don't
motor
think
is the
you
one
can do
that you tell where you can go. Which of those boats they have steering wheels. With those bass boats are usually flat, so and it has like something in the front that's a trolling motor that you can control the front where to like it can stay in place and stuff.
But I'm saying if you don't have the motor, how would you do? You know
Paddle.
what I'm saying?
You have kayaks
old-fashioned
where you
with
can
it.
like
Paddle the boats.
Yeah.
There's a-
Or you
Oh,
can-
with
or
the
you-
pedal. Oh yeah,
or you can use
that's
the rope
cool,
thingy,
that's cool.
right?
But that's
Could you
just so
do like
difficult.
like
If you
a
want to work
drive
out,
by?
hey, if you want to work out, then do that. Yeah.
You can do like a drive by where you got the
Yeah. Which like for like those type of like the people that don't have a
drive-by kidnapping the fish.
What's called the motor.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of sketchy if you don't have that on. Like if you do this and this, it goes like free. Like those boats are not that big, so the smaller boat, sketchier it is.
Yeah.
But I think what Connor has before he had the motor, he has something called a trolling motor. Those are smaller, so it just have a tiny propeller on the bottom and tell us where to go.
That's for like shallow areas, because if you use a big motor in shallow areas, it's gonna ruin the blades and damage the motor.
I think isn't that the motor that Mr. Paul has? Like
the one at the front
like,
of the boats usually
they have two motors, one at the front and one at the back.
Yeah,
like a slower one at the front. Like this very like for
the one at the front is a lot smaller. The blades will be like this big, like that big, and then the back is like this big.
Yeah, the back ones.
Those are. I think like some expensive boats have speakers in them, like like what's called, but like, there's some.
Play some SpongeBob music or something.
Yeah,
you feel
what's called. For saltwater fishing, it's another level of expense. Like freshwater, it's expensive enough.
Yeah,
but saltwater is even.
I can imagine, yeah.
Because like those boats are twice the size as the freshwater boats.
But you have to have more motors as well.
Yeah.
Or stronger one.
And most of the time, like for bass boats, they don't have anything that stops you from falling in.
Yeah.
For saltwater, they have something to hold you over. Like I don't know if you watch the blacktip fishing.
No.
Whenever they have a Goliath grouper, that's like one of the biggest fish you can catch in saltwater.
Yeah, I know about them. Yeah.
It starts pulling them, and at least they have that thing. The what's the thing inside of the boat? Like something, a wall, tiny wall, and it stops.
Yeah.
The ledge, like the rails.
Yeah.
Rails is the best way to describe it. But the rails, they'll keep you, because if you fall in the ocean, it's not fun trying to swim, especially in wavy water. You die.
And if you holding on to the rod, and like you said, like a grouper pulling you, you know what I'm saying?
The world's strongest people even have trouble. Imagine a normal person.
Yeah. Especially if you small, y'all some small dudes, but y'all get dragged.
I'll give you some. I gotta blow my nose.
Cool. But what I noticed during our senior year, senior year and the year after, we were basically fishing a lot, and like it's kind of fun. Like the funny part is like we didn't plan to I don't want to say plan, but that was the only thing that we did.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird in a sense. It's like oh, let's just go fishing, and then everyone's down to go. But but now I feel like we're down to do more stuff.
Yeah, I think it's because Omar, who's not here, but part of our friend group, and I think he introduced new ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think now I feel like you don't want to go fishing every single time. It means it'll be less enjoyable. And I think at least if you throw fishing once in a while.
Yeah.
That's for 2020. I overfish, so I don't I don't feel like I want to go fishing as much as before. I feel like that thing happens if you do something too much.
You get burned out from that, right? Out from.
And what's called TikTok, it was that. Plus, doing TikTok with fishing content, it made me it turned it into a job in a sense.
Definitely, yeah.
So because I saw so much success growing, because that's when TikTok started to blow up. So I was like, oh, what other content? I looked up the trending songs and trends, and see what I can add and uniquely. But I think I didn't really want to show my face. But if I showed my face, I could have grown so much more in TikTok.
Yeah, you did very good at TikTok. I saw you you still did very good.
Yeah. But when I tried to do TikTok again, recently, all of us are doing a challenge. Well, I couldn't I posted the same videos and try to see TikTok. What I noticed, when I looked through the fishing content, big creators don't even have that much views, and then their ratio is not that good. But what I noticed is not that much people now I don't even like the videos. I just just share the video to friends, and then I think the only time when you like videos on TikTok is when you see someone attractive, then.
Speak for yourself.
Or something funny.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing with Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram, yeah, I feel that way about Instagram. But go ahead, what was you gonna say?
Oh no, nothing. I was basically like TikTok. Anything is anything can blow up if it's unique. Like a lot of sometimes low effort things blow up, and that kind of mind blows me, and it frustrates me in a sense that things that are low effort they blow up, but like some stupid video, but but like a lot of things actually are unique. Like some people they have like really good recipes, like they make really good food, or either they also make these trick shots or challenges or whatever, like that takes a lot of effort, and that content and like catching big bass, that type of content deserves a lot of recognition, and it pays off definitely, because you can see those creators, they make a lot of views, but I just don't get how those random dumb videos that
people like them.
Yeah,
it's whatever people like. And that's the thing that most people like. They like these dances. I think TikTok generally has a younger audience. So all those younger audiences are pulled towards like fun dances, fun lip syncs, all that stuff.
I think anything creative is targeted for the lower audience. It's kind of weird saying little audience, but because now we're at the age that we are considered old towards the little kids.
Yeah.
But what's called for that, like TikTok, it's mostly like you gotta be unique or like something. I don't want to say people feel bad for you in this. You know what I meant, but I don't want to say that word.
Yeah.
But like in what's called there's a current trend on TikTok that someone was recording with their mirror. And then I think most people didn't think, they thought it was, oh, it's nice. Like I don't want to say they said, oh wow, we're really creative, but they felt, I don't want to say they feel bad, but what they
show support.
Like
wait, I'm confused. So is it like, is it people? Okay.
I'll talk about it. Like
cool.
As a disabled person, I know people like to pity you a lot, and I notice some of that same thing happens on TikTok. Of course, there are people who genuinely want to support and are happy for them, but there are other people who are making fun of it and liking it, and then you have another side of people who are just pitying them, making them feel like in a way inferior to other people, which I think is really messed up.
Me too. Yeah.
And we should just treat them like normal people.
Yeah,
if you like the video, you like it. You don't.
Yeah.
Social media is weird in that way. It's it's like a festering ground for like just the weirdest parts of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Because our younger audiences now, like from our age group and down, they're more open-minded. So they don't like. I feel like they're more open-minded compared to our older people. Like
open-minded to what though? Is the question?
Like, they're more open-minded towards anything compared to the older people. That's like if they want to do the same support as what.
It depends on which thing you're talking about. I don't
know. Like, not like anything that's bad, like in that sense. But like if they see anything that's possibly good, they will support it in a way.
You know what's weird is that I think social media has the ability to open minds, but also has the ability to close minds.
Yeah.
So it's like, so maybe some of these kids is like open-minded, but I feel like, because I'll be like a little bit into the politics stuff, but not heavy. Just like watching people talk about stuff, just really educating myself. But you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in politics, you see that like that open-minded stuff is not, like the internet can't open your mind, but at the same time, it can do the exact opposite.
Yeah, as much as we don't realize it, all these big companies are censoring a lot of stuff.
Oh,
there's things that they should censor, of course, like terrorism.
They took down Donald Trump, bro, off the podcast.
Well, I think there's certain things that you need to censor, like child.
I mean,
like that.
Yeah.
But you can't for I don't want to say this word, so it won't be taken down like how now video like election something. But if you say that in like a joking way, at least if you like debate it, like how Logan Paul did it, a video with Dana White, but like it didn't get taken down. But if you're like really serious, they will take it down. But I think you need like, what was the topic again? I got it.
We were just talking about censorship of the media.
Yeah, censorship. I think it's good to a certain extent, but I think it needs to be everyone that's like everyone needs to agree that one thing is bad, but not one side of the politics say is bad and then the one side.
Definitely, yeah.
But it's kind of you can't like say like, I don't want to say like you can't like censor like bad. No, I don't want to say that, but I didn't know what was going with it. But
I think I know what you're trying to say. Like the thing is like back when that 19 popping off, because YouTube, if you say the full thing, the C19, you feel me, they're gonna put like, oh, WHO, blah blah blah. But when that was happening, and I'm seeing this trend now, that's why like it's kind of alerting me, like they'll say misinformation and like take you down, and like that's kind of scaring me a little bit because I don't know the extent to which that's gonna grow. Like they doing it to Russia right now. They just did it to Donald Trump on a podcast. I don't know what he said, but all the like YouTube, Twitter, whatever, all the social media companies, they hate Donald Trump, which is fine. But the censorship stuff is interesting to me because it's spreading.
It's mainly because Donald Trump was spreading information that shouldn't be talked about an election. Because social media doesn't like to get I would say they're more liberal, if anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so they don't like when, I guess.
They were like a big figure in the Republican Party. It's like there's like I was like from learning from Joe Rogan podcast. There's always some type of voter fraud, but they're like the way how Trump was saying it. They're saying
he blew it out of
really
proportion.
Big. Yeah. It's like
Definitely.
there's always some type of voter fraud. You guys agree, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's at the certain extent that Trump was saying it, but
probably not.
Definitely not. It wasn't to that extent. And if it was to that extent, someone would for sure notice it. It's not just going to go under everyone's over everyone's head.
It depends on which party you are.
Well, listen, because I'm actually learning a little bit about this, but the people. So there's like oversight on. Not just the people who count the votes, but there's oversight over those people that say, "Are you doing your job right?" Those people were hired by Trump, so the overseers of the voter fraud, just in case it happens, they were hired by Trump.
I think in Michigan or like the northern states, the southern states, they're like I think right on the day of the thing, like the election day, they're like saying that there's like 15 minutes that, but I don't know if it's true or not because they're saying that 15 minutes of like time that the people that look and verify, they're saying that they weren't there and they were still counting because like do you remember they were counting they took a break then counted again in the morning and took at least 1 to 2 weeks to figure out but I think it's I don't understand why people say you need to stop counting the votes at a certain time, but you're not supposed to be doing that in that sense.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that part. But go ahead.
I was just to say I'm running out of time right now.
Yeah.
But if you want, we can do a part two to this podcast and post it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So I was just say like a conclusion related to like what you're talking about social media and how it's bad and good, double-edged sword. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to get social media for a while. I refused to get it because I knew there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like you said, it's the really dark side or like weird side of humanity, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it would corrupt me, and I thought I would become like them, the people that I don't want to become like.
Yeah.
So now I realize it's good. It's a useful tool. Like as long as you learn to control it. So like I'm actually very happy that I got to use social media in the last couple of years or so because because it's like helping me with my rap career. It's helping me connect with other people. It's helping like be more, like this podcast is it's all over social media. So I'm thankful that it's a tool that available to us to spread this podcast and things like that.
One thing I was like, I feel like from me, like I learned what people did wrong through social media, then try to implement like not to do that type of stuff, and that's what I was thinking. I think social media, like when you like see all your friends getting it, then you wanting to get it.
Just keep talking.
I was so confused about how.
Yeah.
Well, like I think social media is good to a certain extent.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
You want to like figure out what's happening?
I know what's happening.
What?
This place closed at 6, so.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah, we should come here. Let's come here. All right. Thank you very much.
Y'all can stay here. Y'all are good. We're
Oh.
about to leave.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
yeah,
you.
because we can lock this door and y'all can go out the back.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so confused. Yeah.
That's why I got threw off.
I guess we'll wrap it up. We want to thank you guys for listening, and as always, stay healthy and have a good one until next time.
Yeah, have a good one.
Because we didn't talk about all the topics that we wanted to talk about.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, always, whenever you're watching, like and subscribe to the podcast. Don't miss that. Stay safe.
Yeah. We'll drop a part 2 as well.
Drop a part 2 on our like social media talk, and we're also gonna go into music on there.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what we forgot to talk
yeah. Well, I'll see y'all later. Stay safe and healthy.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Because I feel like with